Trials is changing forever. So we just got word as of July the 8th, we just found out Trials of Osiris is changing forever. That's right, something that hasn't been changed since the creation of Trials in D1. Light level advantage is now being disabled going into the Edge of Fate, and so far as we know, into the future of Trials of Osiris. Now, what does that mean? So you will need to reach a base power level of 200 light level. So that base power 200 is pretty, everyone starts at 10, you can hit 200 on that power band, but your light level is able to go up to 400, 450 and so on as new updates and expansions come out, 400 being, I believe, the hard cap. Hitting that 200 light level is going to be really easy for a lot of Guardians and a lot of players to kind of get to just by completing the campaign, from what we heard via live streams from Bungie. But what does that mean? That means a lot more players are able to check out Trials of Osiris way before they were able to potentially in past expansions. They don't have to go ahead and grind for a high light level. They don't need to worry about bringing up every single weapon to the highest light level to avoid the issues of taking more damage, doing less damage, and things like that. This creates a change for so many more people to hop into Trials, but it also has some creators, kind of like Frostbolt, a little worried that cheaters are gonna be able to hop into Trials and kind of run rampant, because now they don't need to grind accounts, they don't need to have accounts that have a certain power level because of this change. But realistically, at least in my opinion, light level isn't gonna stop cheaters, period. Not when they can turn into Moth and run rampant and do whatever they want. I don't think light level really does anything to cheaters or for cheaters in any fashion, right? It's already locked behind a paywall. They have accounts that have every expansion. It doesn't matter. Cheaters are gonna cheat. They're gonna find a way to cheat. They're gonna exist. That's gonna come down to a whole nother topic about Bungie, you know, having a better security team, having AI algorithms to deal with cheaters, a better cheating system, you know, revamping battle eye, things like that. It's a whole different conversation. But I don't think light level has anything to do with cheaters. It doesn't help them. It doesn't hurt them. I don't think that really matters. But the light level being disabled means the ability to try out different builds and different weapons without having to waste materials and bringing up light and doing things like that and going there with different weapons. It doesn't really matter as long as you're at that base 200. From as far as we know, it's pretty simple to get to as long as you complete the campaign as a whole. I don't know if that's really tied to legendary campaign or campaign period. You're able to hop into Trials and try out all these different things and enjoy a much broader experience as opposed to being locked in, especially early on, into your highest light level gear, which we've always done in the past. We've had to log in on an expansion coming out, farm and grind that power level to make sure that we can reach the highest possible power level before going into Trials, so we can avoid, you know, the whole issue of I'm taking more damage, I can't do as much damage, and causing a big issue and kind of turning off a ton of players very early on in a season or expansion for a lot of players, because they just weren't able to do that grind. They don't have the time to do that grind, and they're playing against, you know, people who are just out there instantly ready, and they have to deal with them, and it makes them not want to play. So this change, I believe, is probably one of the best changes that Destiny has done in a very long time for Trials. It's going to be a change that we'll see what happens going into the future, but allowing more players to enjoy and check out Trials of Osiris. The big issue we have right now is a lot of players don't play at the end of the season, which kind of sucks, and it means it's only sweats, potential cheaters, things of that nature, which makes the playlist dwindle more and more because it gets worse and worse and worse. We're seeing that right now before the Edge of Fate. So hopefully this helps retain players in the activity and potentially introduce it to so many more players that just were turned off by the fact that they have to grind their power level just to check out an activity in the game and an expansion that they paid for. This change coming to Trials of Osiris, we're about to see a completely different environment of players enter into the fray, and I'm very excited, and I hope this change really does bring in a lot of new players, and hopefully they can experience Trials in its best form. I'm hoping we get some additional changes going into Edge of Fate. Right now they're kind of being quiet about what's happening with Trials, but this change in of itself is amazing. It's one of the best QOL changes they've done for Trials, literally in forever, in my honest opinion. The question is, what do you think about these changes? Are they going to make you want to play Trials? Do they want to make you hop into Trials earlier? Are you going to want to try out different builds and different weapons in Trials? Please let me know in the comment section below how this change makes you feel about Trials of Osiris as a whole, and if it's even going to make you play it more or play it less. Let me know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.